1 second. I should have done all this before I hit start. Okay. Question number 2. How do you... Nope. Question number 3. Is there anything you wish you could have done differently in your life or in relation to the events leading to your passing? Empress in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. King of Wands, Knight of Wands. I'm kind of getting this message of like done less enabling or more encouraging to try and get their dad to grow up. Almost like this feeling of someone needed to step up into a different role of like man of the house and kind of get the other ones in line, and no one did that. And it feels like what this is saying is anything you wish you could have done differently or in the events leading up to your passing. I feel like this is both. I feel like it's like, I wish I would have taken my mom's advice, listened to my mom's advice. And it's almost like a similar energy of, I wish that Alex would have done that as well. Yeah, Queen of Cups in reverse, the mom not taking the mom's advice. I feel like this is something specific though. Almost like there was a fork in the road even before the last fork in the road, where Maggie had presented some kind of course of action and they ended up going with Alex's course of action instead. And it just led them into like this dead end that they were unable to get out of type of thing. Yeah, the Hanged Man in reverse. We weren't seeing things from the same perspective when it comes to something with the home life. There's something that Maggie wanted Alex to walk away from, a connection with one person. This doesn't feel like romance though. And I know there's allegations of that and stuff, but this doesn't feel like that. This feels like Maggie had warned multiple times Alex about someone specific. Oh, about someone specific he was connected to. Did that end up being the person who gave him the ultimatum, it's you or your family? 9 of Wands in reverse, 3 of Cups, part of the group. Not necessarily the person, but he knew how to get in. He knew how to get to Alex. He knows exactly who got to Alex and why. It's associated with that person. 3 of Wands in reverse. There was a group waiting to see if Alex would do what? Trash. A group waiting to see if Alex was going to turn on them to get out of his own mess. What's concealed in reverse? DNA in reverse, ego in reverse. Almost like the way in which he handled something relating to that incident with the boat with Paul made that group of people feel like we need to keep an eye on him because will he turn on us? And this energy of people watching Alex make this slow climb to his own destruction and letting him see how far he pushed it before they had to step in and give him an ultimatum and say, look, this is what we know. This is what we can prove. If you want to get out of this, it's you or them. he chooses himself, and in the process gets himself wrapped up in the sentence for what he did. Allegedly, my opinion. Aliens in reverse. I chose myself over somewhere I belonged, somewhere where I wasn't an outsider with my family. Republican in reverse, because someone in power gave me no option. Someone in power. And there's the trash truck. We just got trash. I don't know if you can hear it because this mic, but the trash truck just picked up my trash and went down the street. Oh. Noticing justice behind this. What was the group afraid of Alex potentially revealing if he didn't have a bigger mess that it wouldn't even like the financial stuff, okay? Almost like they were fearing him starting to turn on people to try and get out of that. Like, let me turn in some favors. Let me give you info about this person or that person. So they needed to make something bigger so that that could not be an option. That's what I'm getting at here. What would that be that they needed to hide? Money in reverse, dirty money. They got it wrong. Wrong way, go back about dirty money. They got it wrong about dirty money. They got it. Almost like Alex was supposed to be doing something with the money, and because he was using it for something else, that's why they were looking at it like he's going to continue to self-destruct until he eventually needs to turn on certain people in order to get himself out of it. It's like they saw that Alex wasn't able to stop himself. Abuse, neglect in reverse. And they didn't want him to talk. They saw that he was unable to stop himself from spiraling downward, and they said he's probably spiraling downward until he just eventually hits rock bottom and then tries to pull somebody else down in order to get himself back up out of it. And it feels like they weren't willing to take that risk. Conspiracy theory in reverse, the truth. True story. Disposing of evidence in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Let's see the next question. I kind of want to skip a couple of these. Is there any guidance you can offer to help bring closure or justice to those affected by the case? I kind of want to reword this now. Splitting the deck to justice and Seven of Wands. Defending justice. Defending justice. What could you say to those who feel like there's still a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, or not a lot of proof of answers? If that makes sense. I'm going to do 4 of these and 4 of the Whispers deck. No, I'm going to do 5 of these and 5 of the Whispers deck. Ace of Cups. The Devil. King of Wands. Interesting. Judgment. Still a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. The Lovers. Let me see, is this all in the screen? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So underneath of Ace of Cups. Underneath of Ace of Cups. Strategy. The devil's strategy was to make an offer. The devil in this instance to me feels like that behind the scenes group. It's almost like, it's almost feeling like Paul is referencing some kind of bait for Alex, like someone really pushed him further down a bad path because of what he knew, and there was some kind of offer made. It's almost like an offer was made that Alex couldn't turn down, but once he took it, it was the last piece needed to knock over the domino for his downfall. Ask different questions. Is that right and I'm missing something, or was there no offer? Not seen clearly. Okay, so no offer. What does this mean then? Ace of Cups, the devil. He made the offer. Let's see what comes out for under the devil. Not an offer made to him, an offer made from him. Home and safety from the devil. An offer made from him. Offer made from him. Premeditated. Premeditated. King of Wands. King of Wands is looking over at the devil. The devil is the hand of the offer. Look, this is like the devil's really making the offer, but it looks like something good on the outside. It was something done on purpose. Is it fair to say that it's not a group that came to Alex with the ultimatum? It's a group that came to Alex and said, you need to do something that proves whatever. It's like they gave him a multi-choice option, and that's the one that he chose because he felt like it would allow him to have his cake and eat it too. Male in reverse, it can't be me. My hands are tied, it can't be me. I wonder what the other choices were. So rephrasing what I said previously, it feels like there was a group that came to Alex and said, you need to do something that would prove blank. And his solution was what ended up happening. Secret weapon being exposed, spouse partner in reverse, under the lovers. Can't be me, has to be you. Oh, that's what I got from the first reading. I don't think it was supposed to be Paul and Maggie. I think it was just supposed to be Maggie. And because it ended up being both of them and it ended up as big as it did, it's almost like there was no other option than he had to go down for it. It couldn't be made to look like anything else because it was both of them instead of one of them. Almost like if on a soul level, Paul made himself go down with Maggie so that there would be justice for Maggie. 3 cards from Paul. Disposing of evidence in reverse. Yeah, so that there would be the proof, there would be the evidence. They wouldn't be able to bury it when it comes to the murder. And murder in reverse, I don't think Paul was supposed to be there or involved in the actual part. Communication in reverse. Hearing what's not being said about evidence that's already come forward. If you look very closely about something with Maggie and something with Paul, I don't know if it's how they were found. I don't know if it's like something doesn't match. Almost like something in the evidence, if you look at it, looking for this, will kind of indicate that Paul it wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it could be that's in the evidence that would indicate that. Burial. Almost like something indicates that the target was Maggie, and I don't really remember the evidence that intricately to be able to even have an idea of what that could be. But it's almost like he's saying that something in the evidence would point towards, look, she was the target. It was supposed to be her going away, okay, her being discarded of, essentially, in order for him to get out of something. It wasn't supposed to be both of them. Reason that it didn't work in the way it was supposed to work, and he wasn't able to then shimmy out of it in any way and had to go down in the dramatic way he did, is because it ended up being both of them, which ushered in a lot of public scrutiny about the case. Yeah, final ending in reverse. It wasn't supposed to end that way. It wasn't supposed to end that way. Knight of Cups. That's the sun. 5 of Cups. 3 of Wands in reverse. Not waiting to cause grief to the sun. But because there was some kind of offer already made, I had to go into battle, and the heavy burden was that something in the strategy was off. I don't think Paul was supposed to be there. I think the plan was take out Maggie, get the public sympathy, be able to be like, oh, well, maybe someone's after me for this and that. I don't think the plan went accordingly. And I think that that's why it reached the level it did. And I also think that that's kind of why some parts don't all the way make sense. I don't know how to explain it. High Priestess and 3 of Pentacles both in reverse. Yeah, something about the separating factors of her and him and the scene. I have to look into the evidence to know what that would be. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Okay, so the differences in how Paul and Maggie were found and the evidence surrounding their deaths are significant. Paul was ambushed while standing in the dog's kennel feed room. He was shot twice with a shotgun. The first hit his chest and his arm, and the second fatal shot hit him in the shoulder and traveled up to his brain, killing him instantly. Blood evidence, including spatters and biological matter, was found in the area. His phone was found placed on his back pocket, which investigators believed was put there after his death, as Paul would not have been able to move after being shot. Should I read Maggie's first? Let's read Maggie's first. Maggie was shot multiple times with an AR-15 style rifle outside of the kennel. Oh, standing in the kennels and out of the kennels. I wonder if that's the factor. She was first struck in the thigh and abdomen, which were not immediately fatal but caused her to fall. The shooter then fired fatal shots as she was on her knees. Her body was found face down, and there was no evidence of movement after she was shot. Cartridges found near her body matched those from firearms on the Murdaugh's property, though the murder weapons have not been recovered. So what would that tell us? He's inside, she's outside. And I said there was some factor that would let us know that she was the target. I'm almost wondering if he was inside the kennel, heard something outside the kennel, went to grab his phone. Maybe someone knocked the phone out of the hand. I do feel like in the last reading, I got something about a potential accomplice of some kind. Almost like it's to say that Paul being inside right when this was happening outside, maybe it wasn't known that Paul was in there, but I feel like the up was it seems like she was going. Okay, it's back. I don't know why that keeps happening. I literally have a whole Wi-Fi extender, but anyway, she was going to be chased down regardless. He was trapped because he had witnessed something. I'm almost wondering if the phone being found on the back pocket is almost like symbolic of like, this is why he had to go too. Let's see what this says. This first row is Paul. 5 of Pauls in reverse. Just as the day dawns to the friendliness and houseless beggar who roams the streets throughout the long, desolate winter night, just so tardily, just so wearily, just so cheerily, come back the light of the soul to me. So it's 5 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm not locked out. I'm inside. I'm inside, and that's the problem. I'm inside, and whoever's outside doesn't know I'm inside. That's what this feels like. 6 of Paws in reverse. From my infancy, I was noted for the dolicy and humanity of my disposition, but in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. A debt. I'm inside. Outside, some debt is being taken care of. The moon in reverse, secrets being revealed. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams, but in reverse. I'm inside. There's a debt being cared for outside or taken outside. And I, the moon in reverse, I see it. That's the issue. Now with Maggie, the devil. From every depth of good and the ill mystery which binds me still when the rest of the heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Of a demon in my view. The deal made was for him to take out Maggie. He messed it up, took out both of them, and he had to go down because there was no way that could be covered. Almost like you take out Maggie and then we know you did it, but it can't be proven. So we can always use that against you if you're going to turn on us. But no, you messed up the plan. don't know why that keeps happening. I guess I'm going to call Comcast again today for the 15th time. So anyway, deal made for Maggie. He messes up because he takes. I was listening to this thing the other day, and it was saying that people see us from. We see people from the vibration that we are in. So when we're in a high vibration, we see people's higher potential and the ability of what they can step into. When you're in a lower vibration, like Alex was at the time of all this, he was seeing how he would react. So it's almost like him realizing Paul was in there was the death sentence, because he knew that if that was him in there, he would use it for blackmail to get out of whatever he was involved in. Like, almost like, to put it more simply, in a split second, Alex realizes that Paul's in there and is like, oh, if I was Paul, I would definitely blackmail me and say, you need to get me out of all my criminal stuff, or I'm going to tell everyone that you did this. There's also the factor of it being his mom. So I just feel like that's what made it go the way it did. 8 of Wells. Quoth the raven nevermore. Quoth the raven nevermore. I don't know what that means. Hold on one second. Said. Oh, quoth is said. Said the raven nevermore. Oh, nevermore. The devil nevermore. So this is 8. It's 8 of Cups. The devil nevermore. The devil. The deal was to leave Maggie behind. Yeah, Queen of Quills. Words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. It's almost like she knew something, because in order for her to offer him some kind of solution or suggest some kind of solution, it would imply that she knew something, and someone couldn't have her walking around with that knowledge. So to Alex, it was like, you cut this potential person who could go against us, but then he messes up, does it when Paul's there, when he doesn't realize Paul's there, or thinks Paul has left, or something to that effect. And something need to be looked into in that phone, it feels. That's why the phone was found where it was. I have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. And so all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride. It was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade. 9 of Wells, 9 of Cups. That's what I'm getting. I feel like there was some kind of, you need to make sure you tie up all the loose ends. What are you going to do this? He said, okay, I'm willing to get rid of my wife. And then something bad happened in the plan where Paul happened to be there too. I'm almost wondering if Paul was supposed to be there but wasn't supposed to be where he was. Almost like someone needs to be there to hear the shots. Someone needs to be there to notice that something's up so that people can respond. It's almost like there was something in the timing of it that Paul needed to be there, but not right where he was. He wasn't expected to be there. That's what I'm getting. Let me close with some of the Whispers deck. This was the Edgar Allan Poe tarot. Okay. I'm just gonna do 2 rows of 4 to close this out. If anyone can make certain things that I said make more sense, if you know more about like the evidence and stuff, let me know. That's what I'm getting. getting much bigger and deeper implications, and it's almost like everybody needed to cover their own butts regardless of who they needed to step on or hurt in the process, because something behind the scenes is, at least in their opinion, worth protecting in that way. Church, worth protecting in that way. A group mindset. A group belief system. I feel like the group belief, this goes back to the deck I used in the beginning with the biblical tarot. It's like I said, it's Alex thought he was this like king of sorts, which we know, but like it's almost like Paul is saying the other people behind the scenes, they think this too. They are that, but on a bigger scale, allegedly. So above church, we have health issues. Someone wearing a mask. Multiple people needing to cover up their connection with this group. Communication in reverse, covering up the ties between parties. Caregiver medical staff in reverse. We have health issues, caregiver medical staff. It's saying the theme. So the people who need to keep the mask on will do anything without caring about who it hurts to protect the communication or dialect between parties in this group that pretends to be something else externally that's not that way behind the scenes. Hidden network in reverse. So the group that pretends to be something one way that's not that way behind the scenes is what is being revealed here. And that's who assassination, murder for hire, that's who, not forced because he made his own choices and his own actions, right? But like made Alex view it as necessary to do what he did. Freedom in reverse. The whole thing was a trap, and that's the secret. In order to keep everyone's secrets, they had to trap him because they were scared of him revealing the hidden network that has a good reputation externally, at least to some extent. And it's almost like you would never connect the dots between these people. And someone with a lot to lose said, we need to do something. That's what this feels like. I have an idea. I'm going to do 4 more cards and then we're done. These are going to be 4 cards from Maggie about what we just talked about. Okay. Evil demonic. I think she's referring to the group and the decisions made. Corruption. Evil demonic corruption. Dirty money. That's the same thing I said in the beginning. It's some bigger element of it, though. It's more than just what we saw with the financial crimes. Success. These people are very successful. They put on a very good facade. And it feels like you would never connect the dots between these people. The only way the dots could have been connected would be if Alex or Maggie would have connected them to try and get themselves out of what Alex had caused for them. Death in reverse. They were willing to bring back to life or bring to life a plan in which there was no getting out of it because they needed to cover the web of connection behind the scenes of powerful people that Alex and I believe and Maggie knew too much about. We need to get her all the way out of here, but we need to get him to do it so he is not a threat either. Almost like if they were kind of putting, like the devil would, like temptations in front of him, knowing that he was gonna continue to walk down the wrong path because they needed to push into a place where he would have no other option than to go along with something that there'd be no turning back from. Because once everyone sees Alex go down, guess who's protected? Those behind the scenes that are calling the shots. Because everyone sees Alex go down. Everyone gets to witness the saga of the downfall of the Murdaughs. That's what it is too. They had such this long-standing name. In order to make this man totally not credible, you have to kind of have something solid and big. Last card from Maggie. Timeline issue, private property. Time was up on what they knew. Time was up on their ability to get any wiggle room. Almost like there was no way to prove that they weren't going to use what they knew private information about, and they were out of time to try and be able to prove it. That's what I'm getting. That was a lot. I didn't expect that. Um, please remember that this is not facts. It is all alleged, my opinion. I think that's it for now. Talk to you soon.